Begin with continuing coverage on that Orlando nightclub shooting. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ashley Glass.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Thanks for joining us. Many of you watched live on our free mobile app as those who survived this weekend's Pulse nightclub shooting shared their stories.
And 3 survivors speaking out today from hospital beds and wheelchairs, and their long roads to recovery now getting underway. We begin with Ryan Raish live in Orlando with one Bay Area man's story. Ryan?
Yeah, and what an incredible story he has. We first introduced you to Angel Colon on Sunday, the day of the shooting, when we met his father right outside here in the hospital. Now today, in his own words, he speaks about the bloodshed and his will to survive.
If it wasn't for you guys, I definitely would not be here.
Tonight, a heartfelt thank you from Angel Colon of Winter Haven to the medical staff that saved his life. He got shot 3 times and shattered his leg from the stampede of people running from the gunshots.
And I'm just there laying down. I'm thinking, I'm next, I'm dead. So I don't know how, but by the glory of God, he shoots towards my head, but it hits my hand. And then he shoots me again, and it hits the side of my hip.
Angel's Angel, a police officer who came in and dragged him to safety.
And he just drops me off across the street, and I look over, and there's just bodies everywhere. We're all in pain.
Today, doctors say what undoubtedly helped save lives that night is Orlando Regional Medical Center is just 4 blocks away.
They were being dropped off in truckloads and in ambulance loads.
They train for mass casualty events. They're prepared to triage patients in hallways. But nobody expects the biggest mass shooting in U.S. history to happen on your watch, in your town.
This was somewhat of a surreal experience.
44 patients came through their doors, and doctors managed to save 35 of them. At least 6 tonight still in critical condition. The agony even shaking the most veteran doctors.
I was on call again last night, and I was walking out of the hospital, and walking out, I saw team members walking into work crying.
Colon still has a long road to recovery ahead, telling reporters he has no plans to ever return to that nightclub, but won't let the shooter steal his innocence either.
This person has to be heartless. Heartless, ruthless. I don't know how you could do something like this. Just seeing all these bodies everywhere.
Colon was in great spirits this morning, talking to reporters for more than an hour, even smiling at times. Of course, others are not so lucky. The doctors are fearing that death toll could creep up even higher because 6 at this point are in guarded condition. We're live in Orlando. Ryan Raish, ABC Action News.
The guilt of feeling lucky to be alive is heavy. It's like being rushed to the hospital and told you're going to make it when you laid beside individuals whose lives were brutally taken.
Those powerful words coming from another survivor of that Orlando shooting. Patience Carter says that writing is helping her heal after she watched her friend die right next to her inside the nightclub bathroom. She was visiting from Philadelphia with 18-year-old. Her name was Akira Murray, and another friend. Carter and Murray ran out of the nightclub when the gunshots began, but went back inside when they couldn't find the other friend. They got trapped with the gunman in the bathroom. Carter heard him call 911 and pledge allegiance to ISIS.
So the motive is very clear to us who were laying in our own blood and other people's blood, who were injured, who were shot, that we knew what his motive was, and he wasn't going to stop killing people until he was killed, until he felt like his message got out there.
Another survivor, Angel Santiago, played dead and let police know he was alive by waving his illuminated cell phone.
As for that gunman, Omar Mateen, we've learned authorities may charge his wife, saying she knew about the attack ahead of time and tried to talk him out of it. Investigators saying the wife, Noor Mateen, traveled to the Pulse nightclub at least once with her husband to scope the place out. Noor Mateen also told the FBI she was with him when he bought ammunition and a holster. Meanwhile, President Barack Obama is preparing for a trip to Orlando on Thursday to pay his respects to the victims and their families. Today, he spoke out against increasing surveillance against American Muslims, saying this would actually make our country less safe. He also explained why he's not referring to terrorism as radical Islam.
And if we fall into the trap of painting all Muslims with a broad brush and imply that we are at war with an entire religion, then we are doing the terrorist work for them.
Presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump, one of the most vocal critics of the president's refusal to use that phrase. After his address today, Trump said the president, quote, claims to know our enemy but prioritizes them over Americans. Ashley.
And the owner of Pulse nightclub is also grieving in the wake of this tragedy. Barbara Poma says she opened the club after her brother John died of AIDS. She named it Pulse after the idea that John's heartbeat was pulsing throughout the club to the beat of the music. Poma says she will go back to the club in order to keep the victims' hearts beating and their spirits alive. Thousands of people across the country, they're opening up their wallets right now to help this healing process. I want you to look at Equality Florida's GoFundMe page. I have it pulled up here, which benefits victims and their families. As of right now, it's reached $3.6 million. Just incredible here. The most money ever raised by a GoFundMe campaign. And this afternoon, Disney announced it's donating $1 million to One Orlando Fund. There are a lot of other ways you can help too. We have those ways posted right now to our website and our free mobile app.
Now, the most accurate weather team in Florida, ABC Action Weather.
Good afternoon, everyone. Titan Doppler radar. There are some showers, a couple of storms out there, but not many. And today's weather story, definitely the heat. You don't need me to tell you that if you've been outside. While temperatures are still in the upper 80s along the beach, upper 80s to low 90s inland, which really is about where we should be. But it isn't the heat. Oh, it's the humidity. Because when you factor in the humidity, the feels like temperature is about 100 degrees across much of the area and mid-90s along the beach. This evening, partly cloudy skies, nothing more than a few isolated showers. There's a lot of heat on the way. But eventually, there's a front and some higher rain chances by Father's Day weekend. We'll time it out for you coming up in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Dan. We'll check back with you. Two families are heartbroken tonight. They're young teenagers becoming victims of gun violence in South St. Pete. A 15-year-old shot and killed on Friday, and a 16-year-old still in the hospital right now after someone shot him in the head early this morning. ABC Action News reporter Kara Mashik live in Clearwater with the efforts to turn the tide on all that violence out there. Kara?
You know, we know that a lot of kids who end up victims of a deadly crime or those who pull the trigger have had a history of less serious crimes, misdemeanors, things of that nature, and they end up right here in the Juvenile Justice Center. Well, now a whole group of law enforcement from all over Pinellas County teaming up to crack down on some of those habitual offenders with this program called the Habitual Offender Monitoring Enforcement. They're going to strap more ankle monitoring devices to these kids, even throw them in jail if they end up violating those terms, and the victims and their families of some of these more serious crimes are just hopeful that it will help.
Stephen Worley rides his bike through this South St. Pete neighborhood all the time, but he feels a bit uneasy now after a gunman shot 16-year-old Javarius Martin in the head right behind his home.
It's scary because, you know, that could have been me. It was right there.
Sadly, it's also something Worley and others in this neighborhood have gotten used to. Shootings killed several teens in South St. Pete in the last year, one claiming the life of 15-year-old Trevion Larkins near Childs Park Friday night. His family and friends come to this memorial every day.
I love Trey because he taught me how to do new tricks and stuff. He taught me how to dribble.
He was funny. We always argued, though. That was my favorite brother.
18-year-old Marquez Bingham is in jail, charged with second-degree murder for Trey's death. He and Javarius were friends and played football together. As police search for other suspects, many here are hoping something will be done to stop the bloodshed.
I think it's crazy how this stuff keeps happening.
Now, in addition to the new program that's happening here to start to crack down on some of those repeat offenders that keep getting arrested, the city of St. Pete says it's still ramping up efforts to help some of those at-risk youth as well. One of those successful initiatives will actually have a graduation program coming up this weekend. Reporting live in Pinellas County, Kara Mashik, ABC Action News.
Kara, thank you. Also in St. Petersburg, we're learning a woman who became trapped in a window died today. And she had previously lived at that home where investigators found her body. Officers saying Nisha Henderson left her 9-month-old in a stroller outside the 15th Avenue South home and then tried to reach the window by standing on a chair and a milk crate. Unfortunately, that chair fell over, trapping her. We're told she and her son were homeless.
Right now, you could put $3,000 in your pocket if you can help solve a deadly mystery in Pasco County. See, early Sunday morning, someone found an injured woman, Chance Derrick, along Spare Drive in Moon Lake. Firefighters tried to save her, they tell us, but the 27-year-old died. Crime Stoppers is now offering a $3,000 reward for tips about Derrick's death.
Much more still ahead on the tragedy in Orlando. The mass shooting apparently very good for gun sales right now. The one type of weapon more people seem to be buying right after that attack.
Plus, the smelly spot where crews found this huge gator.
Sir, this alien life form is growing at an alarming rate.
Growing fast, you say?
We can't contain it anymore.
You know, that reminds me of how Geico's been the fastest growing auto insurer for over 10 years straight.
Over 10 years?
Mm-hmm. Geico's the company your friends and neighbors trust.
And deservedly so.
Indeed.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Caroline, these people think we're nuts giving all this stuff away.
I don't think that's why.
Cash,
but
huge screen TVs with every purchase or lease of a new Kia this month.
Yep.
It's crazy. Right here, Wesley Chapel, Facilio Kia, where it's huge, Tampa. Huge.
Have a room that doesn't cool? Acree's trusted technicians can take care of all your cooling needs. Call Acree today for our 49th anniversary $49 tune-up.
1-800-WE-ARE-OPEN. If you've been injured in an automobile accident and have legal questions, visit forthepeople.com to get answers to your questions. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The 2016 Nissan Sentra. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With blind spot warning. Get to your local Nissan store today for a $139 per month lease or get $1,500 cash back on the 2016 Sentra. Take on the unseen with Intelligent Safety Shield technologies in Nissan Sentra, Altima, and Maxima.
Looking for a job is hard work. And with a child to support, it's tough to make ends meet.
I use it to stay in touch with work and my kids.
SafeLink, the free phone program, free cell, free text, and free minutes is your connection to safety. If you qualify for programs such as SNAP or Medicaid, today you are eligible for 500 free minutes for the first 4 months and unlimited free texts.
Together, we can do better.
Call 1-800-SAFELINK or visit safelink.com.
There's a grocery store. It's right down the street, like 2 miles, and I will drive past it every time I go grocery shopping because right past it, there's a Publix. I wouldn't shop anywhere else. They always go out of their way for me, so I don't mind going a little bit out of my way for them. The people are always friendly. They're always helpful. They don't just point to aisle 7 and say, good luck. They will walk you there. They're just nice. They treat you like a friend there. You don't get that everywhere.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
1-800-WE-ARE-OPEN. Tired of high energy bills? Acree's trusted technicians can take care of all your cooling needs. Call Acree today for our 49th anniversary $49 tune-up.
Other dealers are calling and complaining I'm giving too much away, so I figured I'd up the ante. Not only cash this month, I'm going to give you the cash, and I'm going to throw in a huge screen TV. With every purchase or lease, it's going to be huge, Tampa. Huge.
And now back to continuing coverage on the Orlando nightclub shooting. In the wake of the tragedy, some gun stores across the country, they're reporting a spike in the sale of semi-automatic weapons.
Yeah, stocks of some gun makers are up as well. And ABC Action News reporter Adam Weiner talks to a local gun shop owner about what drives up sales after a shooting, especially the weapon used in that attack in Orlando this last weekend.
Particularly interested about 3 pieces of legislation.
Some members of Congress are trying to bring back a ban on what they call assault rifles, like the kind used in the recent shooting in Orlando. Today, Speaker Paul Ryan gavelled it down.
Filed in response.
The gentleman's not sitting in Parliamentary ring.
This latest attempt to bring back a ban on some kinds of semi-automatic weapons has led to many Americans visiting their local gun shop. Some buyers concerned they may not be able to buy these rifles in the future if laws change.
Well, look what happened when Twinkies stopped. Everybody went out and bought armfuls of Twinkies because I'm never going to get them again.
Fred Fleshy says his store Shooting Sports on Northdale Mabry has not seen a rise in rifle purchases so far this week, but he says the AR-15 is popular because it's very similar to the kind used in the Army.
A lot of folks that have had experience in the service, when they come out, they're familiar with this. They're familiar how to take it apart, how to clean it, how to maintain it. So it becomes kind of something they're used to.
The AR-15 in particular, he says, is good for target practice because it doesn't need to be reloaded as often. But that's precisely why Florida Congresswoman from Orlando, Corrine Brown, wants high magazine weapons banned again.
We've got to make it a campaign issue. We have elections coming up. People got to get involved.
But Fred believes banning weapons won't make people safer and only limits his right to choose.
I can relate it where some people have a red convertible and other people have a black sedan. Well, what's the difference? Just personal preference.
In Tampa, Adam Weiner, ABC Action News.
And right now there's a call to action from within the gay community, an LGBT gun rights group called the Pink Pistols, calling for people to arm themselves to prevent another tragedy. The Pink Pistols wrote on their website, quote, "A human being did this. The human being's tools are unimportant when compared to the bleakness of that person's soul. Our job now is not to demonize the man's tools, but condemn his acts." The group is urging local lawmakers to reconsider letting people carry guns into bars for self-protection as long as they do not drink.
A call about a bad smell leads to a really big find.
Yeah, take a look at what crews pulled out of a storm basin, an 11-foot gator. Yikes, look at that thing. Here's a closer look at the picture. Deputies saying someone called reporting a foul odor. They found a dead gator 3 feet underground in the storm basin. Crews say that gator was bizarrely large. Yeah, you think, but believe it or not, this kind of blockage happens once or twice a year.
Now, the most accurate weather team in Florida, ABC Action Weather.
That's just ridiculous.
You know what, though? I think more people were looking at the guy behind him like he was in the
Yeah, we got him. He was
it
dead
wasn't
already,
much of a
buddy.
challenge, right? I mean, come on. It was a matter of picking the thing up, right?
Right.
Tell you what, outside today, a lot of folks are saying it's as hot as it's been all year, right?
I know, like really humid.
Feels like it is what? Ashley hit the nail on the head because the air temperature isn't any hotter. But Wendy, you are right. It is the humidity, absolutely, because that feels like temperature is closer to 100 degrees. You look outside, though, what we're not seeing are many thunderstorms across the area. A few showers eastern Pasco, Sumter County, 1 or 2 in Manatee, 1 or 2 in Hillsborough. And truthfully, I don't think we're going to see too many this evening. Over the next hour or two, a few more might pop up. But if you remember, we were talking about some drier air that's limiting our rainfall chances. You say, well, wait a minute. If it's so humid out, how is it dry? I'll show you in just a second. Temperatures right now, these are those feels like. Feels like 100 in Tampa, feels like 100 in Plant City. The actual air temperatures, though, are in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. And it's all about the dew point. When a dew point hits 70 or higher, it is extremely muggy for our taste. And once it hits 75, you know it's summertime. And most areas right now have dew points well into the 70s. Outside right now, 90 in Tampa, which is really the normal high for this time of the year. So there's really nothing unusual about this. It's just the humidity is really up there today. Clearwater 90, St. Pete 86 with partly sunny skies. Did see a few morning showers as we expected along the coast bright and early. Otherwise, things have held off and that drier air is limiting anything that pops. And if it does, it will not be along the coast. If you're going out to the beach tonight to check out the sunset, you have no rain in your forecast. Any rain that develops will be east of I-75. Now, here's what I was talking about, that drier air. When we show you the water vapor imagery, we're talking about an image that looks at the air 10, 15, 20,000 feet up, right? Very high in the sky where the clouds try to build. And that's covered in dry air. That's the orange color. But for us in Florida, we're surrounded by water at the low levels, the Gulf and the Atlantic. So we can still have the humidity on the increase down where we are while the air aloft is still very dry. And you can see sometimes what wins out. The humidity literally eroding that drier air along the coast early on, and the storms that develop across those interior counties. And by 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight, it's out of here. Partly cloudy and very warm tomorrow morning, another muggy start to the day and a dry start. I think tomorrow every bit as dry as today, maybe even a bit drier and every bit as hot as it was today, with feels like temperatures around 100 to 105 degrees. Thursday, we begin to see a subtle change as some moisture tries to creep up from the north. And depending on which model you believe, there's a front that's going to try to come on through sometime later on this week. The Euro brings it through and gives us some drier air by next week. Not sold on that yet, just a little bit too early to tell. But I think at the very least, the one thing you can count on, relatively dry conditions on Wednesday. On Thursday, most of the rain on the East Coast, and then our rain chances bump up Friday and Saturday. Saturday, the highest day this week. On Father's Day, I think a little bit drier, but still more rain than we're seeing out there right now. Here's a look at high temperatures. Yeah, they're going to continue way on the high side right on through the next several days. Here's a look at Florida's most accurate 7-day forecast. Rain chances below normal, temperatures about where they should be. But by the weekend, Father's Day weekend, rain chances a solid 60% on Saturday and 40% on Sunday.
Thanks, Dan. And still ahead, it's a hassle at the airport, getting stuck in those long security lines. Coming up, just how long one man waited to get to his gate in the unusual way he's trying to get some payback.
Plus, the issue in thousands of cars that could be putting your children in harm's way, and how to tell right away if your vehicle has this problem.
Omar Martine's Fort Pierce condo for a second time flooded with local law enforcement. I'm Carson Chambers. What they are investigating this time.
Upgrade to the improved ABC Action News smartphone and tablet apps with easier navigation. Swipe from story to story, picture to picture. And it's the only app streaming local news 24/7 with ABC Action News Now. The ABC Action News app, available now.
ABC Action News is brought to you by Red Cap Plumbing.
I count slowly, slowly, slowly getting faster. Once I start counting, it's very hot.
Baby, I'm 90% sure the cart's moving.
It is so exciting. I could count forever. Count until I drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I love counting.
Lease a new 2016 Toyota RAV4 XLE for just $209 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I'll call for help.
Yeah, we need to call somebody right now.
1-800-ASK-GARY. Who?
1-800-ASK-GARY. Somebody.
1-800-ASK-GARY.
We really should call somebody.
What? Over the last 10 years, more than 150,000 Floridians have dialed 1-800-ASK-GARY to help them find legal or medical help.
1-800-ASK-GARY.
Your 24/7 auto accident helpline. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Right now at Batteries Plus Bulbs, you can save $10 on Duracell Ultramarine batteries for pretty much any kind of jet ski or boat. Batteries Plus Bulbs. Trust the plus.
It's not too big and it's not too small.
Chevrolet's crossovers come in 3 sizes: Trax, Equinox, and Traverse.
Who wants to sit in it?
I do.
Shotgun.
Oh, wow. This car matches me. I like this. It's a perfect fit.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagine from the Chevrolet crossover family.
Qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 60 months on this 2016 Chevy Equinox. Plus, find your tag to get an extra $22.50 cash allowance on select Equinox in stock.
Your cancer is unlike any other disease, so you deserve personalized treatment based on your unique genetic profile. Immunotherapies attack cancer using your own immune system, and clinical trials bring promising new drugs and hope for more tomorrows. In Florida, there's only one place with all these advancements in over 90 communities throughout the state. Florida Cancer Specialists, online at flcancer.com.
The Pink Plumber installed my new water heater, and I helped fight breast cancer. Thank you, Pink Plumber.
If you have a leak, think Pink and get $50 off your next plumbing service.
The Pink Plumber installed my new toilet, and I helped fight breast cancer. Thanks, Pink Plumber.
Call now for a new water heater installed for just $8.99.
Thank you, Tampa Bay, for helping the Pink Plumber donate to breast cancer research. If you need a plumber, call the Pink Plumber today.
Google Pink Plumber and click the link or call 727-222-PINK.
Well, here's a troubling consumer alert all parents need to hear. Nearly 200,000 cars on the road right now might be putting your child at risk of an accident. BMW is recalling those SUVs, saying the child seat anchors might become damaged and won't hold the seat properly. That recall covers X3 SUVs from 2011 to 2017 model years and X4 models from 2015 to 2017. And if you're concerned, the easiest way to check your car is to run the VIN number on safecar.gov. I've tweeted out a link to that tool. Just follow me on Twitter at Anchor Wendy Ryan. Ash?
And you've likely heard us talk about the recent long lines just like this, really long lines at airport security checkpoints. But now a Minnesota man says he wants the TSA to pay for the inconvenience. The man, named Human Nikizad, is suing the agency. He says it took him more than 90 minutes to get through the security at the Minneapolis airport, which caused him to miss his flight. Nikizad wants about $500 to cover his new ticket and other expenses.
That what happened to Rhodey was disgusting, repugnant, repulsive, a horrible travesty, tragedy.
Outrage and anger. You heard their friends of one of the Orlando terror attack victims speaking tonight to ABC Action News. Coming up at 5:30, the life-saving mission his co-workers say motivates them to show up even after the death of their friend.
Plus, the tragedy striking close to home right here in the Bay Area. Coming up, friends of two Tampa victims share their memories with ABC Action News.
Plus, a picture says 1,000 words. The pair of shoes that are being shared by thousands across the country, and the reason the owner of these shoes, why that owner says he will never throw them away.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Lakeland Toyota. Save more on I-4.
So how organized are you? Because clearly we could use some help around here. And when it comes to hurricanes, when they hit, being unprepared puts your family in danger. That's why we put all the info you'll need on your smartphone. Just head over to abcactionnews.com/hurricane. From setting up a personalized emergency kit to planning your evacuation route. Let us help you get prepared and put your family's safety first. Just download it all to your phone.
The ABC Action News Hurricane Guide, brought to you by New South Windows.
ABC Action News is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Have a room that doesn't cool? Acree's trusted technicians can take care of all your cooling needs. Call Acree today for our 49th anniversary $49 tune-up.
1-800-WE-ARE-OPEN. Acree Air.
At Care Plus, before we had a plan, we had a vision. We saw our Medicare Advantage members living active, independent lives. That's why we work with doctors who share that vision to offer the care you need for the long run, and care managers to help you manage your health. For the past 16 years, Care Plus has strived to put your care before anything else. Care Plus, keeping the health in healthcare.
Sinking concrete slab? LRE can re-level your sinking driveway, pool deck, or sidewalk with PolyLevel. This affordable and efficient process builds voids and relevels concrete.
Call today for a free quote. 1-800-580-0229.
With a full tank of freedom, find your own highway. We'll take you wherever you go. Take you wherever you go.
Now through Tuesday, don't miss the ultimate sofa sale at Rooms to Go, and understand it really is the ultimate chance to save, because every Rooms to Go sofa without exception is on sale. Get incredible savings on plush leather sofas, reclining sofas, sleeper sofas, sectionals, and fabric sofas. Any sofa you see has been reduced to a shocking low price. Remember, opportunities like this don't happen every day, so shop the ultimate sofa sale at Rooms to Go now through Tuesday. Every sofa is on sale.
Is your roof storm season ready? Call the experts at Parliament Roofing for quality roof replacement at a price you can afford. They install shingle, tile, and metal roofs, and insulated roofs for flat roofs and mobile homes. Parliament makes it easy with next-day installation, lifetime warranty, no money down, in-house, no-hassle financing, and easy monthly payments. For a limited time, get $500 off your new roof. Go to ParliamentRoofing.com today to get a quick and easy estimate. Nobody puts a quality roof on for less. Nobody.
1-800-WE-ARE-OPEN. Acree Air.
Tired of high
high energy bills, Acre's trusted technicians can take care of all your cooling needs. Call Acre today for our 49th anniversary $49 tune-up.
Live from the station taking action for you, this is ABC Action News.
Right now at 5:30, a St. Petersburg teen fighting for his life after being shot early this morning. Police are saying dozens of people were at a house party on 20th Avenue. They say two masked men approached that victim. He's 16-year-old Javarius Martin. Shot him and then left the scene. Paramedics took Martin to Bayfront Medical, where he remains in critical condition tonight. Right now, there are no suspects.
And also tonight, survivors of the Orlando terror attack making their voices heard, speaking to the media from their hospital beds and speaking for those who cannot. Omar Mateen killed 49 people in the attack, injuring 54. Tonight, doctors in Orlando say they wouldn't be surprised if they lost even more patients. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ashley Glass, in for Jameson Euler.
And I'm Laura Harris. Right now at 5:30, anger and tears from the co-workers of a One Blood employee gunned down at Pulse nightclub.
The blood technician, he would normally be at the lab at this very moment, processing all the donated blood for the shooting victims. ABC Action News reporter Lauren Rosella live outside Pulse nightclub in Orlando, where his family and co-workers, Lauren, they're preparing to bury him.
That's right. Rody Ayala was gunned down right just down the street at Pulse nightclub, where he was hanging out with co-workers. Employees at the blood bank say they were very concerned, even terrified the next day when he wouldn't answer the phone. Messages of love.
Rody, I miss you, my friend, and I love you.
And hope.
I feel like I'm a much better person because of him.
But also grief.
He was a wonderful person.
And total anger.
That what happened to Rody was disgusting, repugnant, repulsive.
More than 50 co-workers came forward grieving the loss of biologics technician Rody Ayala, many leaning on each other for support as they've worked around the clock to help more victims.
We love what we do, but Rody made us love it even more.
They knew Rody was at Pulse Saturday night. By late Sunday, they feared the worst.
That when tragedy struck, when we couldn't find Rody, when he didn't answer his cell phone and he didn't answer his text messages.
This all as they were asked to step up, no questions asked, to process huge amounts of blood for other Pulse victims. Now they say they're processing blood and wiping away tears, struggling to process Rody's death.
So for him, viva Puerto Rico.
They say he cherished his Puerto Rican and gay community, but also his job, where he believed deeply in the mission.
For he was a donor. He's alive in the people's lives that he saved.
And tonight, a message from One Blood for those who threaten our country.
Just know you took out somebody who saved lives. You took out a good man who saved lives.
And a warning that they and Orlando will not break.
Ayala was a wonderful, incredible, beautiful person.
And Rody was incredibly passionate about continuing the mission of blood donation. His co-workers are asking you to help tonight, as hospitals still need blood at this hour. If you'd like more information about where you can donate, just go to abcactionnews.com and click on Rody's story. Live in Orlando, Lauren Rosella, ABC Action News.
Lauren, thank you. And also tonight, the community coming together to honor those killed in this weekend's terror attack. Family and friends will gather Friday night at Northeast Regional Park in Davenport to remember Amanda Alvera and Mercedes Flores. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to attend. The vigil begins at 7 o'clock. And tomorrow night, the community will gather in honor of Christopher Sanfeliz. A vigil is being held on the football field of Gaither High School. Sanfeliz was a member of the Gaither band there. He graduated in 2010. You know, families of Bay Area residents who lost their lives in Sunday's nightclub massacre are now planning their loved ones' funerals. As they grieve, friends are coming forward, sharing memories with our Jacqueline Ingles.
While there may be no words for Sunday's tragedy, the family and friends of Bay Area residents who died in the nightclub massacre are finding many to describe their loved ones.
You'd walk in the room and he had no enemies, none. He was such a sweet, sweet kid.
Mary McNamara is talking about her friend and former Gaither High School classmate, Christopher Sanfeliz. While the 24-year-old's family headed to the funeral home to make arrangements, they asked McNamara to speak on their behalf.
He wanted everyone to know, how special his brother was, that he could light up a room. He'd give you the shirt off his back. If he knows you're down, he would do whatever he could to lift you.
Sanfeliz was a member of the school band, and Wednesday night, his family and friends will hold a vigil here at the school. Meanwhile, across town, Johnny Garcia is mourning the loss of his childhood friend, 39-year-old Luis Conde.
Beautiful guy, beautiful heart, you know, always happy.
Conde and partner Juan Velasquez were at the club celebrating a friend's birthday. The shooter killed them both. They owned and operated a successful salon in Orlando. Garcia says he always knew Luis would be successful, recalling how he studied hard and stayed out of trouble.
He died for hate and he died for love.
In Tampa, Jacqueline Ingles, ABC Action News.
And today we're hearing more stories of survival, specifically how people inside the club manage to stay alive, some by playing dead. Tragedies like this becoming all too common, so today we talked to a local man who teaches survival tactics. Cobra Self-Defense Systems teaches courses that show people how to get out safely. Like here, you see his elbow close to his stomach to protect vital organs. They also teach you how to act dead, like you need to lay on your stomach so the gunman can't see you breathing. And eventually they show people how to engage and take down the gunman. The best time, they say, is when the person has to reload.
You want to be your own first responder and understand that you can survive this situation, from leaving the scene all the way to engaging the gunman to minimize his effect. Hands on my shoulders.
Cobra will be offering 2 free classes to the first 120 people who sign up at the end of this month and next. We have all that information posted at abcactionnews.com.
And tonight, this post from a doctor in Orlando going viral, showing his bloody shoes, he says, are less than a week old. Dr. Joshua Corsa writes, the blood from the people he treated will stain him forever. He says he will continue to wear the shoes to honor those victims and will never forget that night. The photo of the sneakers has been shared more than 300,000 times. So we want you to stay tuned to abcactionnews.com for the latest on the investigation in Orlando, and make sure to download our free mobile app for up-to-the-minute developments at your fingertips.
Now, the most accurate weather team in Florida, ABC Action Weather.
Good afternoon, everybody. That heat, pretty oppressive out there. Temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s. You factor in the humidity, feels like it's 100. Now, there are a few storms, and the heaviest of which extreme eastern Pasco County, northwestern Polk County. These are moving away. Dade City, you're definitely hearing some rumbling out there. But outside of that, this will continue to move closer to the Orlando area. In fact, if you look at the bigger picture, all's quiet over most of our viewing area and should stay that way through most of the evening. Certainly some interior storms till about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then it's over as we go partly cloudy overnight, very warm, very muggy. But by Father's Day weekend, we got a front coming in, and it's going to bring some rain at least for one of those days, and we'll pinpoint the details coming up in a couple of minutes.
All right, Dan, we'll check back soon. Well, tonight, 60 of Tampa Bay's most prominent business and community leaders, they're urging the Metropolitan Planning Organization to support the Tampa Bay Express Project, also known as TBX. The multi-billion-dollar road improvement project is designed to ease current road congestion and create a foundation for future transit options. But many people and community leaders in the city's urban core, they're opposed to this project, claiming it will tear down the progress they've made in reviving those neighborhoods. TBX Yes Group sent a letter to the MPO calling the project critically important to our future of our region, urging them to work with FDOT and ultimately approve this project. MPO is scheduled to vote on TBX next Wednesday. Laura?
Well, this weekend, people from across Florida will gather to protest the possibility of a bear hunt later this year. Last year's bear hunt was the first in more than 2 decades. It ended after just 2 days with the killing of 304 bears. Next week, Florida Fish and Wildlife is expected to vote on whether to bring the hunt back again this year. And this group you see right here on this Facebook page, it's called Stop the Florida Bear Hunt. It's organizing protests throughout the state. Now, to find the rally that's closest to you, if that's what you want to do, you just click on upcoming events. It'll populate and show you all of the events happening in the area closest to you. Now, we're being told at least 28 are happening on Saturday, including Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota. We've got a link to their website right now on abcactionnews.com.
Right now, a Chicago police officer's on desk duty after this video surfaced you're looking at here. It apparently shows him kicking a man in the head during this video. It also shows an officer trying to arrest a man. Then a second officer walks up, appearing to kick the man in the head, knocking him unconscious. Witnesses say the man lost consciousness for about 30 minutes. Tonight, the Independent Police Review Authority is investigating. Well, an all-out manhunt tonight for a convicted killer in Arkansas. 40-year-old Lloyd Jones escaped Monday. He was serving a 60-year prison sentence for murdering a 16-year-old girl in 2012. Tonight, her family is angry after hearing the news.
Did he just walk away? How could this happen? I'm concerned because he murdered our Angela. What's to prevent him from doing it again?
Posters like this, they're going up all around the city tonight, urging people to be on the lookout for Jones. Arkansas Department of Corrections just released new pictures of Jones, showing him with a full beard. You see it there. They say he has several tattoos, including a dragon, a wizard, and a snake.
A major drug bust tonight in Miami. The Coast Guard offloading more than 8 tons of cocaine, valued at more than $210 million. The Coast Guard collected the drugs over the last 2 months. Officials are saying the haul comes from 11 suspected smuggling vessels. This marks the largest drug seizure offloaded in Miami Beach in years. The drugs will be processed and documented and then destroyed.
Millions of men may be getting shortchanged from their can of shaving cream. Coming up, the defect we found, plus what, if anything, a household name brand is doing about it.
Making bombs out of water bottles. What led deputies to this park, and a babysitter setting off explosives with a child.
On the next, right this minute.
A base jump to surprise friends. Oh, wow. His friend jumps off his back. Wait, what happened?
Aw, you kidding me?
Next, right this minute.
Tonight at 7:30 on your ABC Action News station.
ABC Action News is brought to you by Florida Hospital.
For 9 months, I waited, nervous, excited, wondering if I was ready. But the doctor at Florida Hospital promised me something, that I'm more ready than I realize. I am ready. My little miracle. I'm a mom. Have to lead by example now.
This is more than quality, expertise, and compassion. This is inspired health.
The Volkswagen Jetta is now more fun to drive than ever. Allow us to illustrate. Little help here? It comes standard with a lean, turbocharged engine with even more horsepower to really get your heart racing. Yeah! And this Jetta is amazingly fuel efficient, so the fun doesn't have to stop. Hey, can you give me a little,
Thanks, bud. Hurry in and lease this 2016 Jetta S for just $139 a month. Visit VWDealer.com today.
When you shop at Pet Supermarket, you create the best moments of your pet's day. You provide them with the best nutrition. And you let them know just how much you love them.
Pet Supermarket is the best you can do for your pet.
Pet who? Pet Supermarket.
We're all precious in God's eyes. We teach our kids to treat others the way they want to be treated.
When you're the parent of a disabled child, you realize that the world can be a harsh place, but you also realize that it can be a really loving, wonderful place.
When I saw Donald Trump mock somebody who was disabled, I was appalled.
You got to see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
It told me everything I need to know about his heart and what he believes deep down.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Thanks for testing our new car service today.
Of course.
Our service is a little bit different.
Okay.
We charge by the amount of gas consumed. Since we traveled 5.1 miles and this car offers an EPA estimated 37 miles per gallon highway, your total is 31 cents.
What?
22 cents.
I can pay you cash.
The all-new 2016 Chevy Malibu LT.
Qualified lessees can get this impressive all-new 2016 Chevy Malibu LT for around $199 a month.
See your Southern Chevy dealers.
At Bob Evans, breakfast is such an important meal that we serve it all day long, starting at just $4.99 with fresh ingredients, a warm smile, and hot coffee. Born on a farm, home-style delicious. That's Bob Evans.
Remember when you got your first free shampoo? It was great. They still are. At Hair Cuttery, you get a free, relaxing shampoo with every haircut. Hair Cuttery, home of the Smile Back Guarantee.
You're gonna smile.
Well, the company Today's tagline is the best a man can get, but some men say one of the biggest names in men's shaving products is shortchanging them.
Our Taking Action reporter Jackie Calloway is getting to the bottom of what may be the defect and going after the company for answers. Jackie?
Well, the Gillette Fusion shaving gel gets rave reviews from many of the men who use it, but some all across the country complain it's a ripoff. And here's why. Little in life burns John Motley more than shaving.
Tried the old-fashioned, double-sided blades, tried triple blades, quadruple blades, you name it. I've tried everything to avoid the razor burn.
John, a retired lieutenant colonel who spent 28 years in uniform, says he suffered through decades of daily run-ins with the razor.
So I've been through lots of different shaving creams and shaving gels.
He finally found relief in Gillette's Fusion Gel.
It has some kind of menthol or something in it that really leaves your face feeling good after you shave.
Just one problem. The $5 can lasted for a dozen or so shaves.
When you push it, nothing else comes out. So, I threw it away, pulled out the new one, used it, the same thing happened.
Then he opened the canister and found the real problem.
And that's when I discovered that the product didn't work anymore and there was 3/4 of a can left.
We discovered more than 30 similar complaints at consumeraffairs.com. Many echoed the post from Rick in New York, who wrote, I purchased a twin pack and each can failed to dispense more than 30% of the gel. In John's case, he first reported the problem to Gillette back in March.
And they said, yeah, we have a known issue with the packaging. It is a new package. And so they sent me an $8 coupon to, buy some more.
2 new cans that also failed, so John called Gillette's customer care line again in May.
The gentleman told me that it was the bottom part of the can, that the black part that had microscopic cracks in it.
I asked Gillette what they were doing to fix the issue. They responded in an email. We've studied the issue and are making changes on the bottoms of the cans to make sure they're strong enough to withstand some rough handling. Even a hairline crack or imperfection in the plastic can allow air to leak out, and this would keep the contents from dispensing as designed. So that's a lot of gel that's going to waste. Now, Gillette says they'll refund or replace the problem cans. All you have to do is call them. It's a real easy number, 1-800-GILLETTE. I've also posted that number on my Facebook page. Ashley?
All right, Jackie, thank you. Some incredible video to show you now. This is out of California. A massive fire burning this morning at a plastics factory near LA.
And multiple explosions, 3-alarm fire in this one. Fire crews say the explosions were caused by a reaction between water and magnesium inside that warehouse. The fire also caused a power outage in the area. About 3,100 people were without electricity for a few hours. The building is destroyed, but thankfully, there are no injuries.
Now, the most accurate weather team in Florida, ABC Action Weather.
Well, Dennis made me feel like I'm not nuts for saying it feels hotter than normal. Yes. That is the case, Den, right?
It feels like it is. The actual air temperature is exactly where we should be, but you factor in the high humidity, and it's a little bit stickier than it typically is, and it feels more like it's about 100. In fact, when you start getting feels like temperatures of 105 or above, we issue heat advisories. So where should you go? That looks about the best place you could imagine. The mainsail, there it is. The beach looks spectacular. No clouds out there, no storms, except in northeastern Pasco County. And I got to mention this for a second. We often talk about severe thunderstorm warnings, and we talk about, very, very heavy thunderstorms. And you look at this little cluster right here in northeastern Pasco County. This is no stronger than the cluster that popped up in Manatee yesterday. And unfortunately, if you didn't hear, there was a lightning fatality. There was a man who was killed from a lightning strike around 5:10 yesterday afternoon in Manatee County from a storm actually weaker than this one. So just because there aren't any severe thunderstorm warnings right now, and you'll know if there are, you'll get an alert on Storm Shield, or for that matter, something on the bottom of the screen, or we'll tell you. But remember, if you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck. It's that simple. So even though these aren't by definition severe, which just means winds of 60 miles an hour or 1-inch hail, they're deadly. Lightning is a big issue in Florida in the summertime, so please remember that. If you hear thunder, it's a good idea to go on inside until it's not around anymore, because obviously if you're hearing the thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. Upper 80s to low 90s right now, which is really about where we topped out. We hit 91 today in Tampa, 94 in Winter Haven. So, temperatures were maybe 1-2 degrees above normal, but not much. Typically, we should be at 90. That's where we are right now in Tampa. The dew point 75. The pressure 29.95. As we said, 90's right. We hit 91. The record 97. The low only dropped down to 80 degrees this morning. Now that is a solid 5 degrees above normal. Sunny in St. Pete. The beach is beautiful right now. 86 degrees, and Sarasota looks just as nice, although quite a bit warmer at 90 degrees. All right, how are we shaping up with the forecast for the next couple of days? What we've had today is what we're going to see tomorrow and probably even again on Thursday. That means some evening showers east of I-75, not many. Waking up to partly to mostly sunny skies. It'll be steamy. It'll be warm, but mostly dry. The only exception may be a quick shower along the coast, just like we had this morning. By 3, 4 o'clock, we're still limited in the amount of moisture out there, so rain chances only maybe 20, maybe 30%. I think same thing on Thursday, although the models are hinting there could be a little area coming on through. I'm not sold on that. But I do think by Friday into Saturday, we do start feeling the effects of some more moisture. A front comes up to the north and brings us a better chance of some rain. Now, overall through Thursday, the highest rain chances will be off to the east. But I do think on Saturday, that will be the best chance for areas in most of our viewing region. Now, models are still not sold on one solution or another. In fact, bottom line, we just don't know in terms of whether this front's going to clear out entirely and give us some drier air early next week, or if it's going to stall out just to our north and keep us in high rain chances. So bottom line, that's going to be another day or two before we have that one figured out. Until then, a lot of heat, isolated storms. We do know Saturday, 60% chance of rain. I think a little drier by Father's Day.
Well, still to come, smile for the camera. Would you be this happy after getting arrested? Coming up, the charges these women are facing, even if you can't tell from their mugshots.
Download the new ABC Action News app for your mobile phone and tablet. Just search ABC Action News in your favorite app store.
ABC Action News is brought to you by Liberty University.
More people buy Hyundais from Hyundai of Newport Richey than anywhere else in America. Why? We have the lowest prices guaranteed, America's best warranty, and 2 years free maintenance. Get your new Hyundai at the Giant, Hyundai of Newport Richey, where our volume saves you money.
Almost every time I go there, I see something that reminds me of why I like to shop there. I'll see someone else smiling and walking away happy, and I know that they just got the same great service I always get. I've been shopping at Publix well over 20 years now. I always walk away happy. There's always someone who appears who can answer that question for you. And if they don't know the answer, they'll find someone who does. Little things like that, it makes such a huge difference.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Hyundai Memorial Day sales event is almost over. Hurry, you only have days left to save. Get up to $3,250 in total savings and drive home with our best offers like 0% APR and no payments for 6 months. Backed by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. That's 5 years longer than Toyota and Honda. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. This event is the reason to buy now. Lease the all-new 2017 Elantra for just $149 a month, or the Tucson for just $179 a month, or get the Sonata or Elantra for 0% APR and no payments for 6 months. Visit your Suncoast Hyundai dealer today.
Eyeglass World salutes Haley, who could have booked a nice hotel off the interstate, but for half the price, booked a cabin off the grid. Not surprisingly, Haley shops at Eyeglass World, where she gets the styles she loves and her glasses the very same day, all for an incredibly low price. 2 pairs for just $78. Eyeglass World. See yourself smile. See yourself save.
It's not too big and it's not too small.
Chevrolet's crossovers come in 3 sizes: Trax, Equinox, and Traverse.
Who wants to sit in it?
I do.
Shotgun.
Oh, wow.
This car matches me. I like this.
It's a perfect fit.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagine from the Chevrolet crossover family.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this Chevy Equinox LT for around $199 a month.
This is a work of art. This is beautiful.
What's your style? Find your style at Badcock and save big at our Father's Day sale. Shop power recliners just $298. Sofas starting at just $498. 5-piece bedrooms starting at just $548. And instant mattress savings up to $400 off. Plus, get 24 months interest-free with no credit refused. Badcock makes it easy. Don't miss our Father's Day sale.
More people buy new cars from the Giant than anywhere else. Why? We have the lowest prices guaranteed, America's best warranty, and 2 years of free maintenance. Get your new Hyundai at the Giant, Hyundai of Newport Richey and Wesley Chapel, where our volume saves you money.
ABC Action News is brought to you by Bob's Carpet and Flooring, home of the best warranty in town.
Now from the list, eat these 3 foods to prevent sunburn. 1, tomatoes. Eat them regularly because they contain lycopene, which will build up your resistance to sun damage. 2, green tea.
This helps with the oxidation damage that happens when sunlight hits our skin.
2 cups a day will help rebuild the DNA in your skin. And 3, dark chocolate. Their antioxidants will strengthen your skin. For more lists, DIY, and life hacks, watch the list tonight at 7.
Clearwater police just arrested a man for beating up and robbing another man outside a convenience store. This whole attack caught on surveillance video, too. Take a look at your screen. You see the entire exchange from Sunday night at the Stop and Shop on South Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. Officers arrested Christopher Michael Day this afternoon. The victim, Michael Russo, told officers that Christopher Day stole his beer and cigarettes, and after Russo went back to the store to buy more, Day attacked him.
Well, these 3 Ohio women are apparently proud of their recent arrest for attacking a McDonald's employee. They are smiling and posing in their mugshots, as you can see. They're accused of attacking the employee because of slow service. The attack happened in the parking lot of the Bellevue restaurant. Now, to make matters worse, police say their children participated in that attack. Now, here's Wendy Ryan with a look at what's happening at 6.
Thanks, Laura. Reliving a night of terror in Orlando, survivors' haunting account of hiding just inches from the gunman and the emotional toll she may never get over. Plus these top stories.
The mass shooting subject's condo inundated with local law enforcement again. I'm Carson Chambers. What they're investigating this time.
A babysitter arrested for making bombs out of water bottles with the child he was supposed to be watching. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you the popular website he was hired from to take care of that child.
2 firefighters accusing police of crossing the line. The I-Team sits down with those men and their attorney. Next at 6, the punishment they want to see handed down.
Have a room that doesn't cool? Acree's trusted technicians can take care of all your cooling needs. Call Acree today for our 49th anniversary $49 tune-up.
1-800-WE-ARE-OPEN. Acree Air.
The 2016 Nissan Sentra. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With blind spot warning. Get to your local Nissan store today for a $139 per month lease or get $1,500 cash back on the 2016 Sentra. Take on the unseen with Intelligent Safety Shield technologies in Nissan Sentra, Altima, and Maxima.
We went to Hollywood to ask if America's favorites, burgers, tacos, and chili, could taste just as great made with turkey. Thousands stepped into the Genio tasting booth to find out. With just one bite, they knew. Now it's your turn to make the switch.
1-800-WE-ARE-OPEN. Acree Air.
Tired of high energy bills? Acree's trusted technicians can take care of all your cooling needs. Call Acree today for our 49th anniversary $49 tune-up.
Dad's getting out of the hospital after his stroke, and I know he needs more care, but we don't know where to go. The hospital gave me this list of places, but I need more than just a list.
Let Kindred help. Call 1-866-KINDRED and a registered nurse can walk you through care options and our locations that best fit your needs. We can help explain insurance, Medicare, or answer any other questions you may have. Helping you and your family is just one more way that Kindred continues the care.
Broadway season tickets are now on sale at the Strass Center. Guarantee your seats to Tony Award-winning blockbusters and high-energy smash hits. Date night, family night, or girls' night. You'll be blown away. It's Broadway at its best. Get more info at strasscenter.org.
We stock lots of car batteries. Plus, we offer Duracell brand quality, free testing, and free installation. Batteries Plus Bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus Bulbs today.
Live from the station taking action for you, this is ABC Action News.
I'm just there laying down. I'm thinking, I'm next. I'm dead.
We just went from having the time of our lives to the worst night of our lives.
Reliving a night of terror, Orlando survivors opening up about the horror and the emotional toll. Now at 6 o'clock, what authorities say the shooter's wife knew before that attack and the secret trips they took together. Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Harrison for Jameson.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Thanks for joining us. Dozens of Orlando victims still in the hospital at this moment, some fighting for their lives.
ABC Action News reporter Ryan Raish is live with how those survivors describe the chaos and the emotional toll it's taking right now. Ryan?
You guys, yet another powerful story of survival. This one coming from a woman who first arrived in Florida on Friday. She flew in with a friend's family from Philly, landing in Orlando on Friday. And get this, they ended up at the club that night by Googling top nightclubs in Orlando. The Pulse nightclub popped up, so they went there. She wrote a chilling poem to sum up the evening. Listen.
Looking at the souls leaving the bodies of individuals, looking at the killer's machine gun throughout my right peripheral, looking at the blood and debris covered on everyone's faces, looking at the gunman's feet under the stall as he paces.
Patience Carter and her two friends were part of that group of people hiding in the bathroom during the massacre. She talks about hearing the 911 call the gunman made, saying things like he wanted America to stop bombing his country. She says she is alive today only because a total stranger used their own body as a shield.
So, and I don't know who that person is. I don't know the name of that person, but if they're somewhere watching from, thank you for saving my life, literally. If it wasn't for that person shielding me, it would have been me shot, and I wouldn't be sitting here today.
You know, I've heard that clip probably 3 times, and I still get the chills just listening to her describe that evening. One of her friends survived, the other did not. The craziest part here, guys, is that this was the end of the evening. They actually had just called an Uber. They were waiting for the car to arrive. They are saying goodbyes when the massacre started, and I'm sure we're going to hear many more incredible stories from survivors in the coming days and weeks. We're live in Orlando tonight. Ryan Raish, ABC Action News.